Thank you, Deputy
on
President.
display.
The latest economic figures are showing inflation between 6 and 7%, food up 8%, electricity costs 15%, gas and other household fuel up 26% this last year. But instead of addressing the dire economic circumstances that we currently face, we have a Prime Minister who is hell-bent on pursuing his divisive voice referendum, having today announced that he will be making an announcement about the date of the referendum next week. But voters across the country are not prepared to be hoodwinked into blindly supporting something with such serious consequences. Polls are showing that support for the voice is steadily falling and is now below 50%, both nationwide in a majority of states. Support for the voice is fading fast, and it's not without reason. Australians are seeing through the veil of this divisive proposition. They are questioning why we should endorse a concept that singles out one group of Australians, creating divisions that could irreparably fracture our society. Mr Deputy President, I've had the opportunity to engage with multicultural communities in southwest Sydney on The Voice, and it's quite clear they are not prepared to accept Albanese's divisive agenda. Many of these people have themselves fled from regimes of segregation, and they can't understand why anyone would want to regress to a race-based, two-tiered system. I also note that a number of these Labor MPs of these multicultural communities seem very hesitant to get out and spruik The Voice to their constituents on the ground. Is it because they know that if they try to explain further what it's really about, their own approval ratings will go the way of recent polls on The Voice? People are tired of being talked down to as well, being instructed in virtue by the ruling classes, and they're being told if they vote no that they are racist, or as recently said by the PM, that voting yes is a matter of common sense and good manners. The announcement about a date announcement today follows a disastrous few weeks for Albanese, where he has tried to backtrack his support for the full agenda of the Uluru Statement for a Treaty, claiming that The Voice has nothing to do with the treaty. This is despite the Referendum Council's final report in 2017 saying any voice to Parliament should be designed so that it could support and promote a treaty-making process. He also revealed that he has not even read the full Uluru Statement document in full, despite committing to implementing it in full on election night. Meanwhile, the cost that is being spent on this self-indulgent venture is obscene. $364.6 million is what the federal government is allocating to deliver this referendum. This is happening in the middle of a cost of living crisis. Households are struggling just to make ends meet in the face of inflation levels that we haven't seen since the 80s. But the Albanese government is focused only on dividing the country up in this costly exercise of virtue signalling. We find, however, a similar agenda here in New South Wales. Just this week I asked the government whether they would cancel their $5 million listening tour to seek consultation on a treaty. But of course, while projects across the board are being cancelled, the Treasurer indicated that they would continue on with this project. The Treasurer has indicated, of course, that he would be cancelling a number of Matt Kean's virtual signalling expenditures from the last government in his next belt-tightening budget. But why not just cancel Chris Minns's pre-election virtual signalling project too? At the federal and state level and across parties, the left's ideological tunnel vision blinds them to the real issues that surround them. Still, it is astonishing to witness that New South Wales Liberals wholeheartedly are throwing their weight behind The Voice, and we saw in the last few weeks that as support for The Voice was plummeting, Mark Speakman, in his wisdom, decided to actually announce that he was backing it. It just beggars belief. So I have to say The Voice proposal was nothing short of a misguided experiment, and those who endorse it are setting themselves up for political failure. Let this be a lesson in the perils of choosing ideology over real solutions, and may the voices of reason prevail.